All right, well, let's talk about Drake. You guys ready to talk a little bit of Drake
please.
here? A very proud dad, so proud that he recently posted a picture of some artwork from his son, Adonis. Now, this wouldn't be a very big story except for the fact that everybody remembers the beef that he had going on and how it came to light that he had a child that he wasn't acknowledging. And now he's kind of grown into a very comfortable and open father. So this is a very big deal for those who follow Champagne Poppy, as he's known on Instagram,
Yeah.
Drake. So the question I want to ask you guys.
And he is a puppy now.
Yeah, and I'm sure this question will be kicked back to me, but the question I want to ask you guys is, do you think it seems like men take a little longer to come around to parenthood than maybe, say, women do?
Well, I feel like with Drake's, like, it's every situation is unique, right? Like, he had to go through legal proceedings and DNA tests to prove that it was his child. Like, it wasn't the best situation to start with, but in general, I mean, I think also he wants to protect his child and not, like, overshare on social media. But in general, I think it does come a little bit more natural to women. You know, you're the one that's growing the baby inside of your body. You have 9 or 10 months to prepare that child for the rest, and you do inherently feel very connected to it. I've gone with guy friends to meet their new, like, nephews before, and, like, guys, they're just like, well, at least my friends, they're just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I can hold it, I guess, like, if you want me to. But I'm like, give me a baby. It's so cute. I'll hold any little warm miracle that I can. I don't know. I mean,
like, Jordan, does it take a moment for, like, the babies to get their personality? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
at first it's just kind of like a thing is here, and then.
Well, it's a miracle. So I think when you look
person.
at it, you're like, I can't believe this came from me. There's definitely that moment, but if I'm being totally honest, I look at it, I'm like, I don't see the connection yet because it doesn't look like you. It doesn't have your mannerisms. There's no connection immediately, and I think that can kind of throw you off in the beginning when you're expecting this whole immense thing that overcomes you. It is more shocking. You're scared, to be honest, in the beginning to figure it out. And to me, I can kind of relate to Champagne Poppy. Drake is probably the best way to describe it. And I can relate a little bit because at first, if it doesn't happen in traditional sense, you're not as open to sharing everything that goes on because there's a part of you that feels like, well, should I be embarrassed that I didn't get married and do it the traditional way? Are people going to judge me? Are people going to think less of me? Are people going to question how good of a father I am?
And everyone has the right to keep it private.
Exactly. But then you get to a point where you realize, I know the love that I share for my child. I know that I'm doing the right things. I know that I'm good to him and we have this connection. It's for nobody else to judge. So now I'm going to be open and embrace it. And I think it's good for him.
I guess it was kind of weird with Drake because it was like, you're a celebrity. Like, how long do you think you can keep anything hidden from us? Like, you're not just this everyday person. Maybe that's why it was a little weird.
Exactly. But most importantly, he's embraced the role now. And his child is going to very much see all this when he gets older because it's in the public eye. So Drake wants to get it right and let that child know that he was loved from day one. And that's going to be very important as they rewind and go back and look at things like this.
I like that.
It's never too late to get it right.
Exactly.
Except for the times when it's too late. But don't worry about this.
All right, well, the holidays, as we continue to talk about them, they always bring back a lot of nostalgia for people naturally. Well, there's a study that shows getting nostalgic, looking back, rewinding, thinking about those good moments can be good for your health, everybody. It's saying that it can boost your confidence, boost your mood, can help you problem solve. There's just a lot of boxes that it checks positively for you to go down memory lane. Were you surprised by this thing?
I like hearing that, you know? Like, I think we all, when we reminisce and, like, look at old photos, like, it does make us feel good, but it's cool to see that there's scientific evidence backing this up. I think that for me, like, I'm such a present person that, like, I try to just be thinking of here and now and, like, thinking about the future, but I don't necessarily look back as much as I should. I don't self-reflect as much as I want, and I want to do more of that in the new year. It's one of my goals, but, like, doing these things actually helps you realize how far you've come.
Yeah, it can be a motivating factor,
like they say, connecting the dots. Like, it's kind of cool.
I actually was surprised at this because usually they're saying, like, focus on the now, focus on the possibilities of the future, like, don't focus on the past. Like, usually that's what I think is the common advice, and people can get wrapped up because I could see people also looking, like, back at the good times of what they used to be.
Like the old varsity quarterback who could never get out of wearing that Letterman's jacket.
And, like, man, my times are good, and comparing it to your now. Like, I think so I guess it depends on, is your past good or bad? Like, are you reflecting on good or bad moments?
It's like the quote that's like, remember the days when you used to pray for the things that you have now. It's like that. It's like looking back, you're like, wow, that person, like, if they could see me now, they'd be so excited.
But I guess if your life is not as cool as it was then you might be screwed.
That's true.
But there's
other things
maybe don't follow this advice.
There's always something to be thankful for.
Maybe get some, like, do the new advice. Don't follow this advice.
I'll challenge you there. Maybe if it was cooler back then, you could think, wow, how good did I have it then?
Yeah.
Being grateful.
Boom. What can I do to bring that back?
How can I get back to that?
Yeah.
What can get me to that spot? What was I able to recapture that lightning in a bottle, how can I recapture that to continue going that way?
Well,
Yeah.
using your example of like the old varsity, or was it your example of like the old jock or football player who looks back on his glory days?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But you can't get those back.
So how do you
Make
get
today
back to
the
it?
glory day.
Okay.
Yeah. She's going so glass half empty on this one. This is
I'm just
good.
saying.
It's a
I'm just
positive
saying.
stuff.
okay,
I think
guys.
the research is not focusing on. It doesn't. It's not suitable for everyone's life.
No,
That's
not
what I think.
necessarily. And there's a danger in going too far back and hovering in that.
Yeah.
That's I
Maybe
think, also-
hovering is
yeah.
the bad part about it.
Millennial women, they're making more money as they should. They're in more management positions. They're achieving more. Still ways to go, absolutely, but they're on the way in terms of evening out this playing field. Still a long way to go because it's very uneven. However, millennial women are achieving at a higher rate than they had in the past. But some things seem to not change at all, and especially in the household, where women seem to still take on most of the household duties in a partnership with a man at home. How can this be explained? Is this something that you guys do believe still goes on? More lopsided in terms of despite the woman making as much or more than the man, she's still coming home, she's cooking, she's cleaning,
Right.
she's handling all
It's
the
the
chores.
second shift that women work. And like, what I didn't realize is that this actually is one of the things that keeps women from taking leadership roles, because they have so much to do at home, because like it just falls on the women.
Yeah.
That we're less likely to go for those high executive positions because we have so much else to do. We're like, oh, how would I take on all that responsibility? Like, men are 7 times more likely to go
My
for
question
those.
is, though, if women are able to break through, and not everywhere, again, this is not a problem that's been solved, but if women can break through in the workplace, how can they not break through at home? Why is this still something that remains stagnant where they're achieving, they're powerful out in the workforce, but they can't change that dynamic at home?
So I think
I'm asking. I'm
I think
curious.
women need to be more vocal about what they need at home and more upfront about their expectations, because I think
they
we
allow
are,
more? Do they
we
let
are
more
part
go
of
in?
it. I think that
Yeah.
we feel like we have to do it
Yeah.
all.
It's a mama
and
bear
so we
thing.
end up doing it. But I got a real life example that I'm gonna throw back on you, Jordan, because you're the only man sitting here. So this
Give it to
happened.
him.
Okay?
Brandon Pope.
Our
Help me.
Christmas dinner. No, don't call for backup. Our Christmas dinner, it was all out, and we were like, let's go watch a movie. It's 4 of us in the house, you know, my husband, mom, brother. We said, let's go watch a movie. So the guys, they walked away, and all the Christmas dinner is sitting out on the table.
Patrick, Teddy.
My mom and I were like, oh, let's like at least start putting it up so we don't have, at the end of the night when everyone's ready to go to sleep, we don't have to put everything up.
Yeah.
So why did the guys not think, oh, let's put up the food? Like, why did they just think it was okay to walk away? I'm putting it back
Because
on
maybe
you.
that's
But because I think they, I'm going to try.
Like,
I'm going to try.
why
here.
do I have to ask you
think-
to do
Good luck.
it? Why can't I know every man is like, oh Lord, it
Well, I
sounds
think-
like
I
at
have a
home,
theory.
but why do I have to ask a man to help out at the
Well,
house?
I
like
think this
we
is the
all have to
perfect
live
case
here.
of that's why you guys are on Venus and we're on Mars. Like there's just differences. There's a natural go get it mentality, and this isn't all men, all women, but I think naturally you guys take the bull by the horns. Like there's this mentality from men, no matter who the man is, no matter what the dynamic is, I have to support home. I have to go out. I have to go bring home the butter. I gotta support.
Bring home
my
the
household.
bagels.
Bring home the bacon. Bring home the bagels. However we're saying it nowadays. Men feel
Vegetarian.
like that's their thing, and whether or not it is or not, and the woman can be achieving at the same level. It's just inherently in them, and I think there might be something inherently in women where no matter what they're doing, they still want to take care of the home. I'm going to challenge you guys.
But
with
what
this
we're
one.
saying
it gets
is that-
frustrating. I don't feel like I should have to ask. Like you live here
Of course.
too.
No.
You should
We
be.
But we
split
do
up.
have to ask, and they will help us
Yeah.
if they're good men. They'll help us
True,
clean
and that's
up.
the
but
thing.
like,
There's a difference
we
in
do
good and
have
bad.
to.
We split the duties in a household
Yeah.
where I'm taking out the trash no matter what. I'm the one who's doing the dishes after she usually cooks because she's a great cook. I clean up the poo from the dog. I take the dog for a walk in the morning and at night. Now, look, I'm not perfect. I don't always do these, and there's some back and forth, and that's probably
Sure.
the biggest thing that we argue about. And I think if you talk to most men and women, they'd say that's where the issue
Yeah.
lies for the most part.
Well,
So,
Jordan, we have your fiance on the phone. She's going to weigh in on
No,
what
I
you
just have to
really
say-
do at home.
I'll see you guys later.
No, you're talking about like
You guys
guys
got
have
the
to
rest
go.
of this.
Okay, fine. Guys have to bring
over
home
here.
the bacon or whatever, but it's like girls are trying to do the same thing too, but like sometimes
work
we're held
full-time,
back
too.
because we have to do all the other stuff at home.
Yeah.
Come on.
So we lost Jordan.
All right, bye, Jordan.